Welcome back to Cityline. With me is somebody that if I could write on their shoulder invisibly every single day that they walk into their place of purpose, because this person does what they're called to do, I would jump at the chance. I'm talking about Duke Paulson. Excuse me.
Yeah,
sorry, Fred.
We've all had that. There you go.
Wow, that was a dry grip.
Yeah.
Hang on. That was a good opening.
It was a good opening.
I'm all embarrassed. Are we still live? Do we get to retake this?
Oh, absolutely we do.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, this whole thing is being taped. It's
Okay,
not
good.
live until Fred puts it on the air on Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad you're in control,
Okay.
Fred.
I have the hairball out of my throat. Let's try this again. Okay, cancel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Cityline. With me is somebody that if I could shadow them in their daily comings and goings where they make a difference, I would jump at it. Well, I'm talking about the wonderful Duke Paulson. He is the executive director of the Tacoma Rescue Mission. Duke, Happy New Year.
Thank you. It has been a happy new year.
I'm glad to hear that. So, gosh, I would be lying if I said I did not think about you and the people that you shelter and feed and minister to so much in the past 3 weeks. What did the mission do to help neighbors on the streets during that recent stretch of extremely cold, bitter cold, snowy weather?
Yeah, it was definitely a busy time. It was all hands on deck. I have to start by just saying I have so much affection in my heart and appreciation for the staff here at the mission. We had people that were, because of the cold and because of weather and transportation issues, that worked very long shifts on back-to-back days and over a whole weekend. When it was really snowing hard, we had people that were staying late and even sleeping here and starting the next day. And we took a position that we weren't going to turn anyone away, that it was more dangerous to be outside in sub-zero weather than it was to be inside, and that we would create space for people. And so we brought in 220 plus people to be sheltered. And it wasn't all at the mission. We had people in our women's shelter. We had people in the men's shelter. We had extra people in an offsite location that we were transporting people to. By God's grace, we were able to transport people through the snow every day, back and forth safely. And it worked. And I'm proud of the team and the effort that went into it. And every day, meals served and things going on that, and just, it was a peaceful place. So coming back and debriefing and going, when you have that many people in one spot and people can't go very far because it's icy out. We had a lot of peace. We didn't have any fights. We didn't have problems. It was, hey, we all come together and this is a warm, safe place. We just get to practice our hospitality to the max. And that's what we did.
I also imagined you and your outreach street team out there with supplies, but also encouraging people to come in. And that's brutal work. It's brutal work when it's 60 degrees outside, sunny and breezy. It's never a walk in the park, pardon the pun. Yeah. But when you add sub-zero weather to that and a shortage of staff, your overtime in the street outreach must have just been incredible.
Yeah, so outreach is amazing because what I was just talking about was what happened inside our four walls, where we were just bringing people in, families, men, women, children, whatever, everyone that was coming in, we received. Our outreach team was still going out 7 days a week the whole time. And there are hands that go outside the walls of the mission, and they do outreach up Key Peninsula and Geek Harbor area, Sumner, Bonnie Lake, out in East Pierce County, Fife. Like, they're going out and going into encampments and places where people are and saying, how can we help you? And we would love to bring you in, but if you can't come in or you won't come in, we wanted to build a relationship with you anyway there. And they're amazing. You're right. That is hard work, even in summer on nice days, because you're seeing the real trauma and you're seeing the hurt people have. But it's when you see people in desperate times and just trying to stay warm, and we're handing out hand warmers, and we're handing out warm clothes and socks and hats and underwear just to give people change, a little bit of dignity and comfort. So they're amazing, and it's so fun to see. And the relationships, can I tell you a story real quick, Amanda?
Yes.
So we received a City of Tacoma award from the council middle of December, because on Thanksgiving Eve, we'd received a call from the city manager's office saying they had found out that there was a pregnant woman under in a encampment under 705. And that's all they knew. No name, no location, nothing. And they asked if we could go out. So we had a team that went out, part of our outreach team went out that night. And it wasn't until 11:30 at night until they found this person. And they confirmed, here's someone who's pregnant and in need. But she didn't want to come in at that point. She was attached to some things, had some stuff that were barriers. She didn't want help. And we stayed in contact with her all month. And the city just appreciated it. We went out and found this lady, and we're trying to help her. Well, when Christmas came and it got really cold, she reached out to me and said, I'm ready to come in. And so we brought her in, we found space, and she was with us in our regular shelter for over a week, then moved into our family shelter, and then just 3 days ago had a healthy baby, which was awesome. And we're still working with her and, okay, next steps, and how do we provide space for you and your child and recovery. But it's been cool to see that outreach and the teamwork. And people don't always want help immediately, but you build the relationship so that when they do want that, and now with a new baby, she's looking for more help. And I don't want to go back to the street. What can I do? And so differences can really be made, and it doesn't happen instantaneously. Sometimes it takes pressure over an extended period of time.
Yes, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the great partnerships that you have within the area that you serve. And by the way, wow, I didn't realize Bonnie Lake and Sumner, you guys really have spread your wings.
Yeah.
But those relationships are what you are known for. Let's talk about this new year coming up. What's on your plate? I have so many questions, and the first one is, let's talk about the thrift store. Is that a reality? Is it going to happen?
It's coming. So our community supports us in so many ways, and one of the ways is donated goods. And so we are planning this year to open a thrift store where people can. We pass along so much that was donated to us to people in need, but we have a surplus still. And so we're looking for a way to monetize that, to be able to sell it and bring that money back in to continue to go out to help people who are in need. So we're going to still be helping our homeless neighbors, but this will give us a chance to sell our surplus of what the community shares with us, which is terrific, and still support what's going on in the mission. So we're close to closing on location. I can't quite say where it is yet, but we're getting there. And actually starting to staff up to get to that point. So I'm really excited about that.
In the wind, I hear the phrase downtown campus expansion being whispered. Where are we on that?
So going back to 2 years ago when COVID first hit, the realization that we need to pivot and change what we do to create more social distance space, and to our shelter, our men's shelter that was only built for 60 people. And like I said, and we have 200 plus on our campus. What can we do to expand and reclaim the space. So right now, in order to house people that we have been doing, we're using our dining hall, we're using our meeting spaces. Everything's become places to stay. So to get that back to help us plan, we said, what would it take? And we were, if we could do this little addition or this little construction project. And those have all come together now into what we're hoping to unveil as a multi-million-dollar actually expansion. And we're partnering with the county and the city and our community to really rethink, let's go beyond bunk beds and cramming people on mats into small spaces, but really have a really great space for people to come into that'll be a new expansion and just redevelopment of our shelter, which hasn't been improved in 20 years. So we're really excited about that. We're just rolling that out and meeting with architects tomorrow to kind of keep going on the planning of that. But I'm really excited because the county already stepped up and pledged money to help support that, and the city's working on it.
I love that. So last 3 minutes, all of this good news leads me to ask the question, how can the community help you? What do you need? How do we volunteer? And I also wanted you to talk about just street conversations that we have as we walk down our street.
We are part of such a generous community. Like I was sharing, people that are giving from their surplus that helps us, and we turn around and directly pass it on to people in need. Such a huge blessing. Our volunteers that come in with their time, that's a gift. That's a great donation, and we love it. There also is just, there are people that are in need that we see, and that can be whether you're going to Target or coming out of Safeway and the hard part is not to lose our compassion for our neighbor. And so when you feel that compassion and you feel that moment, just to stop and ask someone their name and not to say, how are you doing? Or are you homeless? Those can be triggering things where someone feels like, I'm being targeted or judged. What's your name? And I have a dear friend who was just telling me about how carrying around hats and socks in her car and saying, I have an extra stocking hat. Could I give it to you? And it's cold outside. Just acknowledging that and being moved with compassion. And those are the moments that are helpful and where people can redirect that to, there are other resources to help you. If you'd like me to point you to them, I'm happy to do that. And that's where the rescue mission can step in. And even calling us and saying, hey, we know a family that's in a car somewhere. Can your outreach team come visit? Yes. Those are the things we want to do and how we can partner with our community.
I love that. Duke, whenever you are on the show and it gets time to say goodbye, I tend to get kind of emotional because I just, there's so much I want to say, so much gratitude I have for you. And it's just never enough. It's never enough for you and your team. And the love and care and the renewal that you walk with every single day. You are in a high burnout position. All of your people are, all of you shoulder to shoulder, and yet you continue to let grace and love and forgiveness shine from your eyes. So Duke, thank you. Thank you to you and your family and your team for all of the love that you give Tacoma. And I can't wait to talk with you in the springtime as we talk about a change in weather, what more we can do. And as we shuffle out of things, perhaps like Helen McGovern-Palant always said, the peanut butter in the car. We'll talk more about what people need in the springtime. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Amanda. It's amazing. It's a blessing to be here. Thanks for sharing your forum with the community. Without the community support, we would not be able to do what we do. There's no way. So thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. We have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back.